A Fort Worth woman who shot and killed a teenager she says was breaking into her rental home told us today how the incident has changed her life.
When you hear me say they hold the public to a higher standard than the criminals, this is the kind of story I am talking about. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like my channel, like my content, and what I do here, you can support me with a link. Everything is appreciated. Once again, PSA for my Connecticut residents. If you plan on getting your Connecticut pistol permit, please do so or get the training done before July 2024, because then after that, it becomes longer, harder, and more expensive to do so. Once again, to disincentivize you, the law-abiding public, from going out and getting your permit to then actually purchase a firearm. Also, if you have your permit, watch the expiration date. Do not let it expire. If it expires, you're going to have to do the new training requirements after July. But keep an eye on that. Put it in the calendar. Do what you got to do. Don't let it expire. Don't rely on the state to send you that renewal notice. Let's talk about this. This is out of Fort Worth, Texas. And as from the little video you saw in the beginning, but the gist of the story is a 14-year-old teenager was trying to break into a woman's home. She was home alone with her children ranging in ages from 2 to 9. She saw him breaking in through the window. She shot and killed him. Now, that's tragic enough as it is, but once again, if you're going to play adult games, you're going to have adult consequences. And what is really interesting about this story, and disturbing to say the least, that this woman's home had been burglarized twice within 24 hours. You saw a little bit of video. I'm going to give you some more for the YouTube moderators. Once again, I'm using this video for commentary on the situation. Let's go ahead and watch that.
Leah Wallace bought a gun to protect herself and her family, she tells me, after a rash of break-ins in her apartment. Those happened while she and her family were not at home. But on December 14th, twice that day, while she was home with her kids, someone tried to get in.
I was cleaning my living room, sweeping my floor, and I heard her window start going back up. So I went and I looked in the hallway, and I could see him standing at the window, lifting it up, and I just shot.
Gunshots that killed 14-year-old Devin Baker at the bedroom window of Aaliyah Wallace's 8-year-old daughter early morning, December 14th.
It's bothering me that he was a kid.
The incident happened not long after police left Wallace's home after responding to her 911 call about someone trying to break into her duplex.
So I called him at 1:22 a.m. We talked for like 30 minutes. They did a report, took pictures of everything, and then they left.
I believe there were reports that you had been burglarized or attempted burglaries before?
Yes, I have like 3 or 4 police reports before this night.
So what has happened since this incident?
The apartment called and told me that I was not supposed to have a gun at all, even though I kept calling them and telling them somebody was breaking in. They told me I could not have a gun and that I have 30 days to vacate.
And how does that make you feel?
Feel like I'm back at square one. I've been there for 6 years, so now I don't know what to do.
This case is going to the grand jury. It's a referral, as they call it, and they're going to let citizens decide. What do you want people to know about you, Aaliyah Wallace?
That I was only protecting my kids. I have 4 daughters. It's just me and my 4 daughters that stay there. I just was protecting my daughters.
How do you feel about what happened?
I'm devastated that he was 14. I hate that. I literally do, and I'm so sorry. But at that point, I had to think about my babies. I didn't know he was 14 when he was on the other side of that window. All I knew that somebody could come in here and hurt me or my kids. That's it.
So now Wallace lived in federally subsidized housing. We're seeking clarity on whether she can be evicted. She's concerned that if she is convicted, it would be difficult to find new housing for her and her 4 girls. We called the apartment complex today. The manager there told us to call the corporate office. We did so. The corporate office said, get your information from the local apartment complex. No answers for our questions today.
Heard that and you saw that. Now, I always have to come back to play, like you could say, devil's advocate, because what if she didn't have a gun? What if she didn't have the ability to defend herself? Because I'm pretty sure this woman by herself fighting a 14-year-old teenager, she'd be outclassed. But she had an equalizer. Now, you can hear she definitely been affected by doing what she had to do, but she did what she had to do. Because once again, if she didn't have the gun and he got into the home with her and her children there, who knows what the consequences would have been. As you heard, in response, the housing authority, because she is on government fund, supported housing, is now trying to evict her because their claim is that she is not allowed to have a firearm while on government subsidized housing. Now, as you heard quite clearly, there's no evidence whatsoever presented that shows to back up the claim from the housing authority that she couldn't have a gun. And when they asked the local housing authority, well, where do we find this? They said, refer to the corporate. They referred to corporate, and corporate says, go back and refer back to the local. And that's kind of the pass the blame game. Now, I think that's nonsense. The Second Amendment does not have a clause in it that says, under specific circumstances, you cannot own a firearm. She is a law-abiding citizen. She obviously passed all the background checks to then get that firearm. She should be allowed to own it in her place of residence, regardless of how that residence is subsidized. Once again, if she did not have the firearm, what story would we be talking about today? A number of children who are traumatized by a violent offender who is going through their home and who knows what he would have done. Yes, a 14-year-old lost his life, but it's directly due to that 14-year-old's own behavior, nothing more. And I'm sure the parents or the parent or whoever's in charge of this child is going to come out and tell you how good he was. He was just a wonderful child who was well liked, and he was going to be an engineer or a doctor or an astronaut. It's a real shame that once again they hold the public to a higher standard than the criminals who go through and do this violent behavior. Now, I'm not sure we're going to follow through on this story, see where it goes. She should not be evicted, obviously. And once again, they're not providing any evidence whatsoever to support the claim that she could not own a firearm in the home, which I think is ridiculous anyway, because it is truly a violation of the Constitution. As I've been arguing back and forth with another person saying the Second Amendment is for everybody. Yes, the Second Amendment is for everybody, but you cannot have a Wild West situation. The Wild West wasn't even the Wild West. You just can't have that. You have got to have boundaries set. Okay? You don't let a pedophile babysit children. Why not? Obviously, there's going to be issues. You don't give a violent person who has a history of violence and shows no remorse and no indication that they're going to change their behavior, you don't give them a gun. It's just that simple. But once again, this heart goes out to this woman. She does have a GoFundMe going. I will try to find a link and put that in the description box. And once again, she did what she had to do. She was well within her rights. So I just find it interesting that they're trying to punish her for protecting herself and her children in what appears to be a very crime-ridden neighborhood. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.